Hey everybody, I'm just, I don't know why I'm putting out this video. I just wanted to get on here and say hey, see how everybody's doing. Um, um, Today was of course the call all the congressmen about, all of our representatives about the NSA Day. And hopefully all of you guys took part. It's very important to be in touch with representatives, and it's very important to fucking let them know that we're not gonna bend down and take it in the ass anymore, and we're gonna fuck them up, and that business as usual is not going down. We are enough of a minority of us are gonna stand up to this and stop it in its tracks. Sorry for the hair. I haven't cut it a little bit, but anyway, this was a sequel to my drunk vlog. I was obviously not intoxicated, at least in that way. So tell me what you think, respond, whatever. I'm seriously involved in becoming more active, connecting with more of that in this community, and doing more than just calling and talking to representatives, which is part of my daily life these days, but also in forming protests, forming groups to protest different things and trying to come up with ideas. Okay, how can we make a noticeable impact that people cannot ignore? And satire and big things that make people feel uncomfortable seem to be the most effective way to do that. Basically, big ass pranks. So, open to any ideas. And anyway, love you guys. Hope you're in it for the right reasons. And even if you're not, we can all use your help. The corporations are steadily fucking us. If you don't know that, then you need to educate yourself. Ever since that Supreme Court decision, Vallejo versus Pitt in 1978, 76, 78, where they ruled that money is speech. Basically, corporations have free speech rights, which, as people, we have a right to lie. I don't think corporations have a right to lie. I think that corporations, they're separate. There are separate incentives there. Once again, welcome to comments and opinions. But you can see, up until that point, worker productivity and wages were on the same trajectory. But as soon as corporations could start buying elections, worker productivity kept rising, and wages stagnated and started to go down. And it is, and since Citizens United, which said corporations are people, period, can spend as much money as possible on politics, it has accelerated to where the top was it top 9% got 95% of the economic growth after the collapse that we just had, and this is just unconscionable. I'm just talking about just people being able to make a living wage. I'm not talking any like super revolutionary bullshit. I'm just talking about if you go to work, you have a job, the company has a duty to pay you enough to live. And it's in their best interest, because if they don't pay you enough to live, then they don't pay you enough to buy their own fucking products, and they're shooting themselves in the foot in the long term. They don't give a fuck, because all they give a fuck about is quarterly and at the most yearly profits. And that is a sick system. And when we tell them that they're too big to prosecute, the bankers and the ones responsible for this, we're making it 10 times worse. And we, the people, need to stand up and first thing calling our legislatures every day without fail. It only takes a few minutes. I'm starting to get on first name basis with some of the staffers, some of my legislators, some of my Congress people. I need to get further down and start doing it more on the state level, where be much more effective. And join things like Wolfpack, where it's a state-by-state movement to call for a constitutional convention to reverse those two Supreme Court decisions and get money out of politics, so we can have actual elections that mean something, and we can have the productivity and wages are meet again. Because I believe in being paid an honest a wage for an honest day's work, but that's not happening. They're firing people, putting people on half time, and making them do the job of 3 people with a third of the time, and they have the record profits. They have the money to hire more workers, but they don't have to, because of their greed, and the law is on their side, and they have all the, not just the politicians, but the political process itself in their pockets. And for you Democrats out there, the Koch brothers, who you might know are evil sociopathic assholes, founded the Democratic National Committee. They literally bought the whole horse race, so it's both sides. It's 2 sides of the same coin. The Democrats might throw us a little bit more of a bone, us on the bottom, than the Republicans, but they're fucking us just as much. These international trade deals that give corporations more rights than people, or not just more rights than people, but more rights than the governments, including our own, that they do business in. And it's just come to a point where it's fucking ridiculous, and we need to stand up and fight this bullshit. And if enough of us do, we can slow it down and stop it, because they want you to believe, and they taught us to believe our whole life, that it takes a majority of people, but it doesn't. And when you look back at this civil rights struggle, when you look back at ending slavery, when you look back at the 40-hour work week, when you look back at all of the major protest movements, it hasn't been a majority for the most part. A few times it has. For the most part, it's a dedicated minority that figures out the levers that are still there, uncorrupted, to push, and just fucking pushes them until they give. Because we as the people have the power. Nobody, you own yourself. I mean, we are a quasi-police state, but you still own yourself. And you have the rights to do these things. If enough people do, then we'll make progress. And that's what I'm hoping for. And I would ask and hope for more engagement from everybody that knows me, that gets this message. Just let's do this. We have right on our side. Government should be there to look out for the people, not corporate interests. When you talk about entitlements, most of the entitlement money goes to corporations that are already profitable, or things like the NFL, where non-profit that we give $9 billion a year to, even though they make super amounts of money, and corporate loopholes. That's where most of the money goes. You eliminate all of those things, and we have more than enough money to pay for Social Security, for Medicare, or even health care for everybody, maybe even Medicare for all, maybe, or just like single payer, or just being able to opt in to, if you want to. We can lower the cost of college and education, which is in our national interest. Every college graduate brings wealth, intellectual wealth, and profit to our whole country. These things should not be out of the reach of your average person. This hurts us as a country. The college debt, being one of the biggest debts and not being able to get rid of it for shit, and most people just not being able to afford it, especially with the drug war. You get arrested for smoking one joint, you're out of education, period, because you no longer have the ability to get any kind of federal grant money for your education, and this has to stop. We have 5% of the world's population, but 25% of its prisoners. We are not the freest country in the world. All this stuff we've been told our whole lives about America the free is bullshit. Look behind the curtain, do some research, and join us in fighting this corruption and this corporatism and the oligarchs, and just do what you can. Every person counts, and that's the thing that they're fucking scared of. People waking up and just owning themselves and making an account of themselves in what's left of the political process. Usually, like I said, it starts at the state level because they're as yet uncorrupted compared to the national level, and a lot of them want to get money out of politics as much as we do because they're scared of some billionaire not liking them for various reasons and putting up $100 million for an opponent in a race, so they want to get money out of politics. So we can do this. We just need to band together and wake the fuck up on how much we're getting fucked by who, and it's both parties. It's the system itself that we need to change, and the levers are still there. They're dwindling and not as and losing power every day. And I would urge you all to get up off your asses, metaphorically speaking, at least a few minutes every day. And if nothing else, just call your congressperson every day about the NSA wiretapping, about ending the war on drugs, which is one of the reasons why we have 25% of the world's prisoners, even though these people are, even though they are not criminals. It's a mental health issue, not a criminal issue. If they steal for the drugs, that's a whole different ballgame. Then yes, throw them in jail for the same thing. But it's not. Let's not do double jeopardy. We don't put alcoholics in jail. This is just insanity, and you can stop this. You can help to stop this. And I would implore you to. And to anybody watching this that knows me, or on my friends list, or is my friend, or my family, know that I love you. I'm a humanist. I have a great love and hope for humanity, and love, peace, and logic. And I'll see you guys later.